The next thing we're going to deal with is the TFL and the ITB, the tensor fasciae lata and the iliotibial band, which has attachments over here, and you'll see it in the picture, from the buttock muscles, from the gluteus that joins to the actual hip, and it extends all the way down to the ankle. These muscles often can cause sciatic symptoms, or as a result of the muscles and our sacrum and lower back being misaligned, they can actually cause dysfunction of the iliotibial tract and the tensor fasciae lata. So what we want to do is we want to stretch them, and it's very easy. All we have to do is keep our back as loose as possible. Now I'm going to be crossing my legs. So the leg that is in back, which in this case right now is my right leg, is the one that I'm going to be stretching. My toes are actually touching each other. I keep my back, as I mentioned, as loose as possible. My chin in, and I want to hang down like a rag doll. And I want, especially since I'm suffering from lower back pain, I don't want to make it worse, I keep my lower back muscles as loose as possible. Now I want to actually feel a stretching, burning sensation, which I'm going to be feeling pretty much from my lower back and buttock all the way down to the ankle of my right leg. And this particular stretch, again, I usually do it for a minute. After 30 seconds, I really start to feel the stretch. And I want to hang down and keep my lower back loose, breathe naturally, and really let those muscles stretch so that they can open up and loosen up. And whether it's the muscles or the muscles squeezing on the blood vessels or the nerves, I really want to loosen them up. And then I slowly get up, vertebra by vertebra. And again, I'm going to be actually switching now. And I want to, this time, stretch my left leg. My left leg is behind my right. My toes are touching each other, and the same thing. I slowly lower down, keeping my lower back nice and loose, hanging down like a rag doll, chin in to engage the fascia and to help increase the stretch. And I slowly want to get that stretch. Again, a minimum of 30 seconds, preferably a minute. The burning and pain from the stretching at this point is natural. Take it easy, breathe into it, breathe into the pain, and let it out. And then slowly, after about a minute, coming up and relaxing. So the kidney and bladder are considered a functional unit. The kidney and the bladder, in terms of their placement in the body, are actually over here where the beginning of the lower back is, meaning right underneath the ribs, and the bladder inside the body is actually where the sacrum is. This also corresponds to something called Ming-Men point in Chinese medicine, which has an association with the kidneys and bladder, which actually have meridians that are basically related to each other. So what we want to do is we want to warm this area up and actually enhance it, make it supple, increase the energy and movement over there. So, simple way to do it, and it's a great thing to do, especially early in the morning or a few times a day. The first thing you want to do is actually warm up your hands. So basically, you want to rub them in a circular fashion. I would say if you do it about 36 times, 36 and any multiple of the number 9 is a good thing in Chinese medicine. So you warm up the hands, and then basically put the hands right over here, where the ribs end, and you're going to take 3 breaths in and out, and you'll feel it becoming warm. After that, you want to make loose fists, like open fists, if you can see my hands over there, and how they're positioned. And you want to rub, not too hard, but definitely vigorously, and you want to get in there on the area. Also, you can do that for about 36 times. And this will help warm up the area and loosen the tissue in the surrounding area, especially the renal fascia, which is the tissue that surrounds the kidneys and actually sits on top of this part over here, which is the ilia, or our hip bones. Then for the next part, we actually do a sort of banging or tapping. Same thing, you can do it for about 36 times. And since, of course, as we mentioned, the kidneys and the bladder, or this whole part of the lower back are associated, we're going to do the same thing, but on the sacroiliac joint, right here. So the same thing. We want to warm up our hands, rub them briskly, vigorously, about 36 times. Put them right where the lower back and the hips join, so right over here, for about 3 breaths in and out. Wait for it to become warm. Then the next step, which is vigorous rubbing. And the last part, which is the tapping or banging. And remember, stay loose. Loose knees, loose ankles, and maintain proper posture, which is something you should be doing all the time.